Hello, all of you. This is Dr. Rachita Misra speaking to you for your software engineering course. Today, in this lesson, we will discuss on change management or configuration management. The topics that we will cover are introducing what is change management, and then we will go into some of the basic definition and concepts under software configuration management. So, what is change management? We know that change is a accepted word in software development. We always talk of changes. So how to manage changes? So that is called change management. How to systematically manage the change, or in other words, manage the software configuration or software configuration management. What is it? It is a project management activity, and it is carried out throughout the software process to take care of changes. It gets initiated when the project starts, and it terminates only when the software is taken out of operation. When we say software is taken out of operation, that means it is active throughout the software life until the software's life is there. When software maintenance is carried out, when a software life is there, means the end users are using it until the time they continue to use it. The software management activity will continue because there will be some maintenance. So even though the project is completed, that means the development project is completed, but software maintenance will continue due to the life of the software will have to be supported. So, and during that support time also we will have changes, and therefore software configuration management activities will continue. SCM activities, what they will do, they will identify, they will organize, and they will control the changes. To what? To the software and its work products that are being produced by software team. SCM activities are designed, the way they are done, the activities are designed to identify these changes, to control the changes, and ensure that the change is being properly implemented, and report these changes. They will notify it to all the interested stakeholders. Now, the SCM activities are seen because it has so many different important activities. Different stakeholders look at it with different purpose, or different. They have different views of the SCM. So when you talk to the project manager will treat it as an auditing mechanism. He wants to see that the quality assurance has happened properly, and the changes are properly taken in, and the release is proper. So that is the auditing mechanism that he is looking for. And if you talk to the software configuration management manager, the person who is in charge of software configuration, he uses it for his own functioning. He has to control, he has to track, he has to create the policies and the procedures. So he looks at it from that point of view. If you go to the software engineer, he views it as a changing, building, and access control mechanism, because he has to access the software configuration management tool, get his software work product to his area, change it, build it, and set it back. So that is why it is a control mechanism for him, access control mechanism for him. So the customer thinks that it is a quality assurance work, because for him it will ensure, if there is a tight software configuration management procedure and a tool, it will ensure that the product is properly identified and there is no mix up, because there is continuous change in the software. So there will not be any mix up. So he will get the quality, the right quality and the right product. So what is SCM's goal? If people have different views, so what does SCM on its own, what is its objective? Its objective is that it will do the coordination and managing of the changes during the software development. And if SCM does it effectively, then what will happen? The team members will be, their productivity will be maximized, because their time is not wasted in managing the changes, and they are and when if they managed it, they would have made lot of mistakes. So because this is so well coordinated, so their errors, the mistakes that they could have created inadvertently, those will be minimized. So their error will be minimized and their productivity will get higher. So that is what SCM tries to achieve. It tries to provide a very good methodology for coordinating and managing changes so that the productivity will be maximized and the mistakes will be minimum. So if mistakes are minimum, then the quality will also be high. So we can define the software configuration or the configurable items as the outputs from the software process that make up that the outputs of the software process. Those are the software configuration items or the configurable items. And these are the computer programs, which are the source code files, executable files, the work product, that is what is coming out of each task in the process model. It could be the scope statement, requirements, specification, analysis model, design models, any document that is either created by the project staff or it is given by the users or users are making it. So all those things together will constitute the work product, which is part of the software configurable item. And similarly, some of the data that we want to store and we want to version it, for example, some kind of a data structures, some files, some test cases, some test database, those things that we want to maintain, and there we are expecting that there will be some periodic changes into it, those also will become part of the software configuration or part of the objects in the software configuration. The major problem to software configuration is the change. So basically the change is what is the major problem that the software configuration is addressing. How to keep track of the changes, how to identify the status correctly at all times for all the components. All these components that we said are part of the software configuration. For all times, all these things have to be tracked, identified and tracked. So why do software products change? I think all of us know this, so I need not elaborate this. We know that the market conditions will change, business conditions will change, and customer will need to modify the data or some information system functionality, some user interface or some service that is already getting from the computer based system, and they have some problem, they have some difficulty in functioning or they have some change coming from some operational areas, so they will ask for modification, and whenever customer will ask for modification there will be a requirement for and some of the work product changes. Then there will be some errors which are detected or some defective parts in the software that has to be fixed. Reorganization will happen in the business, some growth, some downsizing, some kind of change will happen. Units will merge, or there will be some takeover. So those are the growth or downsizing of the organization or reorganization. So accordingly, the project priorities will change, scope will change, and all the engineering work will change. So there are so many ways. Also, budgetary or scheduling constraints may come up that will redefine the system or the product. So change is something which is eternal in the software arena. Whenever you think of software production, where organizations which are continuously making software or services, software services, they are always having they are always faced for these kind of changes, and the software that they are making has to keep on undergoing change. And whenever they are undergoing change, we need to control it. So therefore, now you can understand what is the great role software configuration management holds in a software scenario. It doesn't happen for other engineering products. So what are the elements of the configuration management system? What it should contain? What are the type of elements that has to go into the configuration management system? So when we are saying it is a system, what will it contain to be able to provide us what we need? So it need to have configuration elements. That means a set of tools along with a data repository or a database, which will provide controlled access to each software configuration item. Then we have some process element, that means a collection of procedures or rules or tasks that will define the effective approach, how we will make the change, and that will be followed by all the participants. Then there will be some construction elements, which is the set of tools that automate the construction of the software by ensuring that the proper set of valid components is being used. So it will give you some tools so that the software team will be able to take the right component out of the software configuration management system, work upon it, and then release it back. So the correct version they will do. So that consistency of the data, this construction element will see that it is maintained. Then there will be some human elements, a set of tools and processes features that are used by a software team to implement the SCM effectively. So some kind of a user interface or human kind of elements it will have to give. So these are some of the elements of a configuration management system. So that means every configuration management system has to provide us these type of elements to be able to satisfy its objective. Now we try to understand what is a baseline. So we have understood that that there are configurable items which are work products. We have also understood that those configurable items will undergo change. So we will have to identify each of these change separately. We have to keep track of these changes. So we do what is known as the versioning. Now what is baseline? Baseline is a software configuration management concept that helps practitioners to control the change without seriously preventing or delaying justifiable change. So we accept that there will be some justifiable change and we should not prevent it or delay it, but we should be taking this SCM concept or the SCM tool that is available to us and control the change without affecting any problem. And what we will do, we will baseline it. After we manage the change, we will baseline it. What is the IEEE definition for baseline? A specification or product that has been formally reviewed and agreed upon, and thereafter it serves as a basis for further development, and that can be changed only through formal change control procedure. So look at it, there are many things that have been stated in this definition. First of all, it has to be a specification or product. And for baselining, for becoming a baseline version, it should have been formally reviewed and the change agreed upon. So that means there is a review of the product, and also there is a agreement or a authorization for making the changes effective. And that thereafter serves as a basis. So once it is done, it will become the basis or the baseline for further development. So it will become a reference point, a baseline, and so that further development will be built on it, and that can be changed only through formal change control procedure. So all these changes will happen, this baselining will happen only through the formal change control procedure. You can think of it as a milestone in the development of software because it is marked by the delivery of one or more computer software, and mind it, when we deliver it, we have to go through this review and approval process of the release. So it is a milestone in the development of software and is marked by the delivery of one or more computer software configuration item. It can be a single program or it can be some models, it can be multiple programs together that have been approved as a consequence of a formal technical review. A CSCI, that is a computer software configuration item, may be any work product such as documents, intermediate outputs, test suite, or a software component. So how do we establish the baseline. To establish the baseline, first of all, a series of software engineering tasks, they will be getting executed, and a computer software configuration item will be created through some engineering tasks. Then these CSCI or the configuration items will have to be reviewed, and then it has to go through an approval process for affecting the change. The approved CSCI is now will be given a new version number, because we have to identify it separately from the previous whatever was the component status. So whatever was the status is the old status, and now it will get a new version number. So versioning is basically differentiating many occurrences of the same configurable item. So if there is a configurable item, and if it has many states at different times, we have created different states of that particular item, or that, in other words, there are many occurrences of the same item, then every occurrence will have a different version number. So each time there is an approval for a new change, that will take a new version. Or you can say the version number will be incremented. And after the version number has been given, then what will happen? It will be placed in the software repository. And now once it is placed, it becomes the baseline, new baseline. The new version number becomes the new baseline. From here onwards, if any more change comes, then a copy of that particular baseline CSCI has to be taken from the repository, from the SCM repository. And this you cannot just do it. It is under access control. So you have to follow the access control procedure to take it out. And then once you have taken it out, it is under your control now, in your own area, personal area or work area. Then you can do whatever you like. You want to review it, you want to debug it, you want to examine, just study it for some other purpose, or you want to modify it. Whatever you want to do, you will have to always take a formal permission, control access, and get it. And you cannot take the original one, you have to take the copy of the item. Again, whatever you do the changes, suppose you want to release it again, that means you have to re-baseline it, then you have to go back to step number 2. So step number 2 says that it has to be reviewed and approved for the change. The change to go into the versioning or the software configuration management tool has to be approved. Not only that the work product has to be reviewed, but the change release also has to be approved. So once it comes here again, which means that it gets another new version. So each time it happens, it keeps going in this cycle, and each time it is released, it will have a new version number, and the new version number will become the baseline for future work. So what we have done in this lesson, we have covered some of the basic definition and concepts of software configuration management. First of all, we have seen that changes happen in the software, and therefore change management is required. So change management is the same rather software configuration management is the other name for change management. So we looked into how we can define software configuration. We took the IEEE definition, and why is it necessary, why the configuration is important in software, and what is the scope of its activity. That means when it is done, how long it is done, what is its complete scope. And we found that it is being done from the initiation of the project till the software is alive and it is being used by the users, and it is under maintenance. And we looked into the elements of SCM, what are the elements it needs to have to be able to provide all the services that the different stakeholders have. Actually, we saw the stakeholder views, different stakeholders view of the the change management system or the software configuration system. And because to satisfy those, there needs to be so many elements which will cater to the expectation of all these stakeholders. Then we looked into what is baseline and how we will re-establish the baseline in this changing environment. So we have come to the end of this lesson. In the subsequent lessons, we will take up on the other aspects of the software configuration management, namely the repository, tools, and the process. So thank you all for giving me a patient hearing.